Hello again. It's me, that Chatsubo guy, I guess. And we're gonna I'm gonna walk you through the assembly of the B class Swordfish II. I spent a lot of the weekend on this ship, and I love it. So, big disclaimer: you cannot get every part in one place. You can get a lot of them at the Red Mile, if you know about that, and then a few parts you'll have to get someplace else. I'll point them out. So let's just get started with looking at the base. My mouse over here? Yeah. At the base of the ship. And at the base we have a lander, or as to say a landing bay, and landing gear. So my favorite landing bay is the NG6 from Nova. You get this at Jemison. And then we have another landing bay connected to the back, which is the 320 Demos. You can get this at the Demos Star Yard. I would recommend looking there. You might also be able to find it at Red Mile. I can't remember. So this is going to be our starting base. And then in front of that, we have a Stroud Eklund lander. Now the reason why I use the Demos one is because it's got 3 landing thrust, which is quite high. You usually have 1, and so we need that landing thrust to get this heavy ship up. And the ship's 1142 in mass, so it looks light. It's not quite as light as the first version. So we need these ones with nice lander thrust. And then on top of the Stroud Eklund AccuLander, we have, which is by the way the middle variation, we have our reactor, which is a B class reactor, the Amundsen Z machine. And this one's got 21 power, which is decent. And then on top of that is our Relodyne 2000 Alpha Grav Drive. And this has 20 grav jump thrust, which is going to be necessary to move this heavy ship across the galaxy. Okay, so that's our base. That's what we're working with. We're going to do the shape first, so I'll start with the halves. And the halves are more or less color-coded, which is kind of nice. We'll start with the Demos 2x1 workshop hab, and that connects our 2 bases. Bam. Now, the reason why I chose Demos workshop was because it comes with a research station as well as stations to work on weapons and space suits. Okay, and now connecting to this and going to bring us down into the landing bay is our Hope Tech Science Lab. No particular reason why I chose Hope Tech, to be honest. It does look cool. I like the look of it inside. I just happened to be in a Hope Tech place when I built the base. Alright, so those are now connected, and now from the landing bay we get into our science lab and into our workshop. Now on top of the workshop we're going to go with the control station for the crew. This is necessary if you do space fights. You want crew on your board, on board to help repair your ship and be more effective in combat. So that will go right on top of our workshop. Now, the next one, you need to give the crew some place to, I don't know, live, I guess. Sleep. 3x1 is important. I use Demos, just because, again, I like it. I like the shape and everything. It doesn't matter much what 3x1 you use, as long as it's a 3x1, and that's because it gives us this extra length and some space below it and some space above it, which we're going to use. Let's fill the space below it with an engine already. So we're going to use the Amun 3 engine. Bam, that kind of rounds it out. Alright, now the front of the ship, continuing with the base, we need our nose. That's going to be the sword-like part of it, and that's a Nova cowling. You can get this on Jemison as well, and you're just going to copy and flip the copy to give you that nice point. And then we need the proton cannon in the anime anyway. And to do that, I have a Taio spine and a Nova weapon mount. And that's connected to the lander down here. So now we have that sword shape, the swordfish shape, kind of anyway, in the point. And we can add a little bit more to it. So let's put on the cockpit. I chose the Armstrong 20R from Hope Tech. You can choose any cockpit you like, but I like the rounded shape of this quite a bit. And the interior is more important to me because I spend a lot of time in there doing first person. It is the most Bebop interior I've seen so far. I think it's dope as shit. I love it. Alright, so we need to find a way to get into the cockpit, because you'll notice in the back it has that entrance. And to do that, I have the captain's quarters 2x1 that we're going to throw on top of the rest of our base. Alright, so now if we enter through the lander, we go into the science lab, and then we can, from the science lab, go into the all-in-one berth, and from there into our captain's quarters, and then from there into our cockpit. So it's looking pretty good. But there's this extra space on the back. Now you can put, if you want, a 3x1 on top of a 3x1, and you can fill that space. But what I chosen to do was to use this Demos docker. Because every ship needs a docker, and this one helps just kind of like round out the extra engine space. I'll show you exactly what I mean here in a minute. Okay, so looking pretty good so far. Let's put on the back engines. So for that, we're going to use the Nova 1000 engine from Relodyne and attach it straight to our docker. And we'll do that for both sides. And so now I think you see what I mean by that rounded top, and it goes right into the bottom. So you can also just put, like I said, a 3x1, or even just put a 1x1 here and then throw that flat docker on top, or any docker really. It's up to you, but I like the way this looks. I think it looks pretty sleek. Alright, so we have our main engines on, and we have our body shape. So let's do the wings, I suppose. And to start, we'll do the Stroud cap for the front to give it this classic, well, a bit closer to the classic kind of point look that the Swordfish II has in the anime. And so with the Stroud cap, you can copy it and flip it, and then now we can give it a little bit more body and a little bit more of a point. And we'll just do that on both sides. So you'll need 4 of these. And you see how they connect to our grav drive and our reactor right before the nose. And now we have that pointed shape, but we need some more of the body here because it doesn't exactly fill out well enough. So that's where the Nova bracer comes in. Boom. Boom. That looks a little bit better from the top. I still want to give it some more shape because in the anime around the cockpit there's like some shielding or some metal. And so I've taken the Ulysses tanks and I've put them right here to help fill out that kind of almost teardrop shape. And then just to help blend the cockpit with the hab, given a Demos spine right on the back, right? And then we need shields, so I used the Sextant Warden SG-100. And the reason why I use this is because it has only 5 max power, about 525 max shield health, which is decent. And now we definitely have more of our shape. let's just continue doing what we do and add the wings. So I use the Demos bracers for the wings because they're thin and they're straight and they're racer-like, just like the anime Swordfish II. And I think 2 of them gives them the length they need to kind of keep the proportions. If you look at the Swordfish as much as I have in the last week, you'll notice that the wings are quite long compared to most of the body. And so I just wanted to emulate that ratio, and I think it fits really well. Okay, and then in the anime, the wings also have landers built into them. So I'm just going to take this landing gear and I'm going to throw it right below the wing. That way it kind of hides them from the top, and it maintains our shape. Plus it gives us the landing thrust that we need. And then we're nearly done. We've got everything that we need, really. You could stop here if you wanted, but I like cargo space, and I like to smuggle things and whatnot. And so I've got these B-class. Well, are they B-class now? They're just regular cargos, but I've got a Caravel V100, 101, right here, and I painted it black just so it's unobtrusive. You know, it adds extra cargo space, but it doesn't really take away from the whole aesthetic. And in the anime, from the cockpit to the engines, the Swordfish kind of has like a black neck, and I wanted to maintain that look here, so I painted these things black. And then we have some shielded cargo, which I just throw below. It's the Gamma 1000 cargo. I got these in red mile, but you can get them. Might be able to get them anywhere. I don't know. But yeah, and I put those right there because it helps. Again, it helps hide them from the top. Also, we just maintain that nice shape and gives us the cargo space we need. Plus, from the bottom, it kind of looks like a hole or some kind of cowling. So has a good shape to it as well. Yeah, that's it. There is the build. Now, if you're wondering if you can get all these in one place, you can't. I hope I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I got most of these in Red Mile. Jemison was the place where I got the Nova cowling. And you should be able to find this cockpit most places. But I'm not sure. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're wondering what kind of weapons I'm running, I've replaced the machine guns with missile launchers on the cowling up here. And then down on our proton cannon, I have a neutron beam and a neutron beam. And it's because they do a buttload of damage real fast and real far, which is exactly what a proton cannon would do in the anime. Good. All right, so I hope you like this, and I enjoyed making it. The next video is going to be a Bebop video for a B-class engine, and I've already played around with it. I'm super excited to share it. It's going to be really cool, in my opinion. And yeah, thanks for sticking around and giving me so much positive feedback. I'm glad that everyone is enjoying these. You guys all take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.